kids being born today will never be smarter than AI. What do you think about that? That's something to discuss. Yeah, because on this data that they're using to train AI, it's so vast that no one human can comprehend. So do you think that's something? Is that something you can think about? Right? So yeah, on to the next point. Uh, for most of you who've been watching movies and movies, yeah, we've seen the term AI. We've seen it in action in science fiction movies. I don't know how many of you have watched Terminator. Terminator is the best example of AI. Terminator. So yeah, that's something you can go watch. So back then we were being shown in movies, but right now what's happening? It's actually happening in real life. AI is actually there, and it's here to stay. No matter the fights, so many people are trying to fight it. So even here in Kenya, there are hotels where you can go and then you're being served with robots. How would you feel being served by a robot? It would be nice, right? Oh, there's no human interaction, yeah. It's just a robot that's coming to serve you. You make your order, and then it's automated. The robot brings the order. But I'm sure. So this is one of the what is it called? The missteps. AI cannot cook. So there's three chefs behind the in the kitchen. So the robot actually just serves you, not the AI that cooks. So maybe we'll get there. Okay, now we can go about the ethical considerations of AI. So as I was saying, if AI makes music and you listen to the music but it doesn't feel, do you think that's ethical? Like, can AI teach you how to think, to how to feel? Can AI make music, let's say about Kenya? It can make music about Kenya, like, and then you actually listen to the music and feel like it's okay. So these are the ethical considerations about AI that there's lawyers and everything. Uh, Many people are actually behind this, because if AI is just left without regulations, there's so much things that it can do. Did you know that AI can even mimic how you talk? If you can train it on your voice, it can mimic how you talk, and then it can actually say things that you didn't even say. That can be held against you in court. So yeah, there's AI in the wrong hands. It's actually pretty powerful and can be used in very malicious ways. So with that being said, the next thing is getting started with your AI journey. So what would you need? What do you need to start your AI journey? When I started this conversation, I told you like we've been using AI without even knowing. Most of you here, I'm sure you watch movies through Netflix. Maybe you have Google on your phones. Yeah. You text. You write blogs. You're on social media writing content. Probably all of you have on Facebook, Instagram accounts, Twitter. So when you're typing, you can sense, you can check what is it, the autofilling. Autofilling is actually AI. When you're watching movies through Netflix, the recommendations that they bring you, that's actually, they use algorithms, AI algorithms, that can tell what you watch, what you Google, and then even targeted advertising. That is actually part of AI. So you're actually feeding Facebook and Instagram your data just by using it, and you made the consent for it. You sign the consent. So to get started with your AI journey, right now it has been made possible without a tech background. But ideally, you need to. It is actually a bonus if you understand tech, like programming languages. The best one used is Python. Python is the most common language used. It's actually pretty powerful. But there's so many languages that are there right now. So, and some of this stuff is just the models that they use, TensorFlow, PyTorch, the libraries. Just it's a subset of programming. So yeah, if you're interested in learning AI and getting into the tech background, you tech savvy interest, there's communities that you can join. There's GitHub profiles, and there's even Stack Overflow. That's just places where you can go and find like-minded people if you're interested in tech. And so from here, I'll just invite like questions. Yeah, from here, I'll just invite questions or inquiries about AI, about technology courses. Does anyone have a question? That was just a brief introduction about AI. There's so many things involved. There's so much in the background that happens, but we can get into that during the course. This was just a brief introduction about AI. Yeah.
Yes. Good morning once again. Yes, my name is Brian Kikwech. I'm a student and a tech enthusiast and AI enthusiast. I just have a few questions. The first one is about the generative AI capabilities. When you talk about Gen AI, who is responsible for the creations that it's capable of, if it's images, text? Who will be responsible in terms of copyright laws in what this Gen AI is capable? So who's responsible? Who can be held accountable in case of misinformation? And or we are aware of its hallucination capabilities. Who can be held responsible? And my second question is, AI, you have said, is the buzzword currently. So how can institutions catch up? What are the necessary steps that we can take to ensure that institutions like Stac driving can catch up with AI and enroll it in its functions and its work as Stac driving? And what is its effect? Because we are aware of how it can automate jobs. What is its effect in Stac driving? So, for example, on the jobs that AI can do it more faster, more autonomously, and more accurate. What is the effect in terms of economy and job displacement? My last question is, how it's actually relating on how can institutions catch up? How can AI in the public sector try to improve or ensure democracy, especially in institutions like Egerton University? How can AI be enrolled in the public sector, like in public institutions, to improve democracy, to improve governance, and to cap challenges that we are currently facing, like corruption? That was just my 3 questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me answer that first.
Mine is a general.
Is a general comment?
Yeah, not a question.
Maybe I can answer that first and then give you a chance to talk. For the first question, you said who is responsible for the Gen AI images and maybe content that you create. So right now, the law, what is currently going on is when you generate any image using AI, you need to declare that it is AI generated image. You cannot just generate an image then declare that you drew it, maybe like you drew it by hand. So you need to declare it's a Gen AI image. So if you do that maliciously, then it's you who you'll be held accountable. So you cannot just generate, because you can't generate pictures. There's actually even softwares like face swap. You can use someone else's face and then put someone else's body and even do Photoshop and all that. So there's something called metadata with images. So it can be traced back to you. So be careful. Just use AI. Use AI like in the legal terms that are there. And then your next question was about
how can institution govern
the governance thing. You can use maybe blockchain. I think blockchain is one of the solutions that can be used in governance, because everything that is transacted in the blockchain is immutable and cannot be changed. So, and it is actually, I hear people saying like cryptocurrencies it's used for illegal activities and stuff, but it's not. Actually, every transaction that happens in the blockchain is broadcasted to the blockchain. That's why it's called a decentralized organization, decentralized network. So every transaction can be monitored. That's why I do not agree with those people who say crypto is used for illegal terms. It's actually not more regulated, but it can be used when regulated. It can be used like to curb corruption in terms of institutions. Because when people do corruption, maybe they take money like cash. There's no evidence, but when it's in the blockchain, it can be traced back to which wallet it went to and who it drew. Yeah, I think I've answered your question.
Can I throw some motivation?
Automation.
Yeah, thank you for the quite insightful presentation. And one of the ways through which this institution can integrate AI into their system, I heard you ask that question, and it's good that you come from a legal background. One of the ways through which this institution and others can integrate AI, it's in places like their fleet management. With a model, you can be able to track the vehicles where they are, and also, you can track. You can be able to track. I saw a model certain friend developed, and this track can monitor real time. Can monitor the real time. That is, the driver can have the login, and also for the student, they can also log in. It can also give you the real time, that is where this particular vehicle is, and also on the fuel, things like fuel. That is an institution can integrate AI for air efficiency. And just as you mentioned, things like Internet of Things, blockchains, you can be able even to monitor the behavior of the students. That is, you can somehow train your model and know when is the peak and you know when to, how the market behaves. That is, for things like market analysis, you can have the analytics and you can be able to predict. That is, you can be able to predict, and by solving, you can improve on the efficiency. Because when you look at things like return on investment for a business, what drives a business is profit. So AI can be integrated, and by solving, you can be able to maximize on the output. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I'm sure now your questions have been answered.
Yeah, there was a general comment somewhere.
Good morning, everyone. Mine will not be a question, it is a general comment about AI, and I'm going to use maybe 2 or 3 examples to demonstrate or to explain why I think maybe I think. In 21st century, no, in 20th century, people used to describe a fool as someone who could not read or write. But in 21st century, almost everyone can do that. Therefore, in 21st century, I believe by the time you are getting to 2050, if you cannot integrate yourself to AI, you will have all the rights to call you a fool. I don't know if that is around in the legal background. I'm sure everyone here have ever gone to town, and there is a certain big company called Egerton somewhere. If you know Egerton. Egerton in the 90s and 2002 or 2005, it was one of the biggest companies around. Everyone had a small, some torches, and they were using Egerton. But now Egerton, when we started getting electricity, they never updated so that they could have chargeable batteries. Once you use, it is exhausted and you throw it away. Then there came a time where people were headphones which were head batteries you can charge and recharge and recharge. Egerton did not update this. Continued giving us some adjustable batteries. Today, Egerton is a name of the past. In 90s and early up to around 2005, even around 2007, we had 2 phone companies which were very famous. We had Nokia and we had another one called Vodafone. In case we had big brothers, they were those Vodafones, Motorola's, Nokia. Today, anyone with the Motorola here? Anyone with the Nokia? Anyone with the Vodafone? No one. Because they didn't update. Nokia had a very small phone, a Nakuru, which had a very good battery, was durable, but now Techno came, Infinix came, iPhone came, they integrated internet, smartphones. By the time Nokia was realizing now we can go to smartphone, Techno, Infinix had overtaken them because they didn't update. We also have Poster, Egerton. Today, how many times have you received a letter from Poster? Because Poster did not update. They still there with the letters, PO Box 536 Egerton. This you don't know what that means. Now Poster is no longer useful. So now we have AI. In life we are in point A, and now we want to go to point C. AI can take us from point A to point B, but now we need human intelligence to complement the AI from point B to point C. And the human beings who are going to fit themselves between point B and point C will be the useful human beings come 2020, around 2050. I have seen a greenhouse where there is a certain AI machine integrated. When the plants need some watering, it does it. When the temperatures are too high, it turns on the fan, the temperatures are cool, like it does everything. So around 20 people who were watering that greenhouse, we are opening the windows, they are now jobless. It's only one man who controls that thing. Okay? There is other automated kits you find. You register the number plate of the car. So when the car gets there, the gate opens. If the car is not registered, an SMS is sent to the owner of the gate to say this number want to enter. If he says yes, he can okay, the gate opens. If not, he declines, the gate will not open. So he don't need a gate one eventually. So there is a space. AI will not replace humans because AI needs us. They cannot operate without us. But AI will make a lot of people lose employment. Even if we have the automated cars, there will be an AI driver somewhere. Okay? So 50 drivers will lose a job, but one white man who will be the AI driver will get a job. So I agree. If anyone who is not going to integrate to AI by 2050, we will call you a fool and we might not need you. Personally, I'm from literature and languages and we do editing work. Formally, when I have written a book, I would pay around 30,000 to a publisher to type that work, do editing. These days we submit our books edited. I take my book, I take photos of the 300 pages, I put in an AI program, the AI types and removes all grammatical errors. How many editors have lost their job? But we have that one man who now is in that AI and now is now earning from that. And this is happening in every profession. In every profession that you are in, whether it is finance, we have ATM which is automated. ATM has made around 10 tellers losing their jobs. Okay? Yeah, we have things like statistics. We have things here. There was a time when we went to the hospital, there was a lot of files. Someone recording in Joro, we have 50 people who are sneezing, so we might have this outbreak, he records. Now, this information is now put in a computer, the computer is just doing the analysis. So around 50 people now don't have jobs, but we have that one man who integrated himself to AI and is now getting a job. So I will not say AI will replace us, but you must fit yourself in a space whereby even after the AI is integrated in everything, you are going to remain useful. And AI is invading each and every profession, everything. Even if you are doing welding or anything, designs, Canva itself, we use Canva for using the graphic designer. In Canva, we have the AI portion, true or false? True. So these days, I just explained to Canva, I want a poster that looks this way, add this image, and Canva gives me that image. What I was doing within 1 hour, I now do graphic designs. I can do a logo within 3 minutes. Okay? So that is how we are moving. So you have to integrate yourself to AI, even in law. So you now have, you can represent someone in the mail when you are here. Formerly, it was not happening. These days, you don't have to write a whole legal document. You just go to AI, tell it, there is someone who stole a cow from Jubuna, so which are some of the acts from the parliament, quote for me the penal code, and you have a document and submit it to court tomorrow. How many lawyers and the cracks who are taking that are going to lose their job? So you have to fit yourself in. It is either you fit yourself in or you fit yourself in completely. So thank you.
Good morning, guys. My name is Gilbert Manana, a former student here, both in computer packages and driving school, and once computer packages. So, first of all, I want to give you a challenge and encouragement. I want to assure you, my predecessor, that the Bible quotes that even in the future, the current generation will be very wise. So I don't think that AI will overtake us. So that's a threat, but at the same time, we must acknowledge that AI is working actually. For those actually who do the forex trading, can witness that as a challenge, because I've been witnessing that. Actually, there is money that you can see with your eyes, but to just hold on that, you can't get it as easy as you think. You can even put in millions or millions, and in a moment, you can just realize you are now plumber within seconds. So that's the challenge of the AI, and that's what I want to encourage people to embrace that about learning this AI. And when I had this invitation, actually I responded because, as you can see, I'm not a student for now, even if you can see my age. But I'm just interested because I got invited, and I know that I'm one of the alumni of this school, and I appreciate this institute. So my simple questions now, the two of them goes to the Stac Institute as an organization. So now that you've decided to launch this, is it a website or is it a bootcamp or whatever? This thing that we have launched today, which is the AI bootcamp today. The question is that, will you be offering it as one of the normal packages or as a course on its own? And then, if so, at what cost? Because I think after that, people will want to come and maybe pursue that course, or if it's a package and so on. Thank you.
Yes, I can note that question. Like 3 or 4.
Okay, good morning once again. Okay, my name is Egerton, and I was once a student here, and I'm proud to be back here again to explore more from here. So, my question goes to our person who was taking us. You said AI has been with us for the rest of our life.
Yeah, it's actually always probably some of the people's grandmas here. 70 years.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I hope most of us have heard of this cloning.
Yeah.
Cloning. Who is behind this cloning? Is it the AI guys or the cloners, those people here? Because it's one of the
Biological clone.
yes. Who is the mother of the other one? And in the future, is it going to make us in this world? Because I heard the cloning, you can make somebody who has gone, then you make him once again alive. Because it's a scenario they are looking for, they want to bring Jesus to exist within us at one point. Right? Does it mean that AI will one day make us not to reproduce? Because we use that AI technology.
Well, to answer that's a different field.
Okay.
That's biology. And there's something actually right now that's going on. It's called cytogenesis. I think there are med students here, they can know. There's people who, when they die, like they've already paid like $200,000 to be put in like subpar degrees in nitrogen gas. Like they're their bodies are preserved. They believe that there is life after. So now their bodies, like I think the first person was preserved in 1990s. It's been over 30 years right now. He has been preserved in liquid nitrogen and then like subpar, like there's degrees, yeah. So there's people who believe there's life after that, but that's not AI. AI, that's biology and that's genetics. It's because they believe like if they save their organs, you know, when you put an organ in like deep freezing and everything, their bodies remain the same. But now, how about what do they think about the soul? So that's a different field.
So there's no relationship between the AI and the coders.
Yeah, that's biology.
But they are using the knowledge in the AI.
Yeah, it's called actually biotech. So there's this thing called biotechnology. So where you can use AI in the medics field. So just an example is using blockchain. So you can preserve your data in a blockchain. So when like a blockchain has all your data. So when you just go to the doctor, you present your data to him, and that it has all the knowledge of the medicine you've used since you were a kid, every time you've been to hospital, how long it took you to get well. So there's that. But cloning is genetics. No, it's not AI. Yeah.
You answered. There is a question which is unanswered somewhere. Let me invite the director to answer it.
Thank you very much. I want to respond